Andy. I don't know if I was able to record a lot lately. Stupid camera keeps going down, dying on me, all types of stuff. So I sat down with Lena last night, or this afternoon, and said, I can't see how much battery's left on my camera. So she figured it out. I can see now. It says 99%. So I'll be able to track it and be able to know when to charge the camera. So today is Wednesday, August 23rd. The 25th is my anniversary. 5 years. 5-year anniversary is wood. For those that don't know, she already told me what she wants. She knows what I'm making her. But I figured I'd show you guys what I'm doing. So what she wants is a log base jewelry box. So take a log, hollow it out, and make a top and all that stuff. So I've already tested it with this piece, this bigger round, but she wants it from this round one. So yesterday I did this without filming it. Today what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this smaller piece now. I realize that there's just a little piece sticking out here, so I'm probably going to go and I'm going to cut a little piece from this one too, and then cut it, and then have this for later on for another project. Yeah, see how thick it was? It was pretty big compared to how thick this one is, so I want to make it a little smaller. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is chop it up with the chop saw. Alright? There we go. So this is the beginning cut. Now, one thing I'm noticing is that there's some pretty big cracks in here in the center. So we're gonna have to be a little careful with that one, creating the portion. So the first thing I'm gonna cut is actually the top. So I'm gonna cut that nice and slow so we actually have a pretty top. Alright, so there's my top. I'm actually going to take the bark off, so the bark just comes right off, and the termites left some kind of nice little pathways underneath it. You can actually, let's see where I can find one, kind of show you. See, there's all types of really cool pathways on it, so I'm going to leave that as a live edge. So you can see here, see, this is the bottom, this would be the top now. And unfortunately, I wish I could keep the bark on it, but the bark falls right off. So actually, this one's, no, I'm going to pull it off. And then what I'm going to do is that sander that I got at the flea market, I was able to fix it, and I'll sand these down later. But what I need to, actually, I just saw I got a cut mark here. That's fine, I'll sand them down later. The next thing I'm going to do is actually, I'm going to cut, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cut the lid from further out. You can't see it here, but I can see it crack right through the center of this. This is going to crack in half. And this has a crack here too. You can see the big crack here on the camera. That line there is from the saw, but right underneath there is a crack. So, but this side is nice and plain and smooth. Now, what's interesting is this line here, it's in here too. When I hold it up to the sun, it's transparent, or not transparent, but I can see the sun through it. It's kind of cool. There we go. I'm happy with this. Alright. So let's go on to the next step. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do really fast is pop off the bark. That way I can inspect better where I want to put the hinge. So that's what I'm going to do now. There's the top. It has nice little paths. Now for the bottom. Now, by the way, I'm using a 1/2 inch chisel that I really messed up the tip on. I'll sharpen it later. I think when I go to sharpen, I'll show you guys how I do it. nice. I got all the bark off of it, so it's perfect. Now I'm going to actually do the hole for the screw that I'm going to use for the hinge. What I do there is I look for a nice piece of the trunk or the branch here where I don't see any weaknesses. I do see some lines in here where the termites got through. That's okay. But if I look here, it goes on like this. And to me, the growth lines look really solid right about here. One other thing I do is on the mated pieces here, where they come together. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put an X and X. So I know those are the two mating sides. Alright. That way if I accidentally flip it, I know what it is. There's also that really cool spot that I told you that gets transparent. I use that too. But yeah. I can also see right here the tree had an injury at one point. That's pretty cool. Alright. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my handy dandy ruler. And I'm going to say that I want to put it about about 3/8 in. Just seems right. So I put a little mark where I want it. I have a piece of scrap wood. Alright, so I have my scrap wood. I have my mark. I went and got some Forstner bits from Home Depot. These are just the Ryobi brand. They're okay. I found out that they kind of run away on you if you use a hand drill. So you have to be a little careful. The screw I want to use is it's a screw that has the neck of the screw has a flat part where there's no thread, so I can spin around that. I already know the screw is a little over 3/8 of an inch, so with the 3/8 of the Forstner, I'm going to line it up and look, but it looks like I'm going to be safe if I just go down to the very neck of the, the little neck here of the Forstner bit. So I'm going to do that real fast. So now I have a nice little hole here with a flat bottom, and that's exactly what I wanted. I'm going to take off the Forstner bit, and then I'm going to switch over to a 7/64 or 1/8. I think I'm going to actually go with the 1/8 if I remember correctly. With the 1/8, I'm going to punch the rest of the way through the top and get my hole ready for screwed through for that. But actually what I'm going to do, sorry, take that back, I'm going to use a 1/16, start the hole with that, and then I'm going to 1/16 through this for at least a ½ an inch to start the pilot hole for the screw. Now, I wanted the screw to go in here not too tight, but not loose either. If it's too tight, it's going to crack the wood, and I don't want to do that. So, first things first, let me get the 1/16 inch hole done. Alright, so we got the 1/8 here, we got the 1/16 here. Now the next part. Forgot the pattern I'm going to use to cut this out. Actually to hollow it out. And I found a trick out yesterday of how to do that. So let me sketch that up and then I'll show you guys. So what I did here is I first drew a line from where the hole of the screw is to the other side of the branch piece, the piece of wood, where I thought visually it looked like the center. I didn't measure anything, just visually. And then I drew another one perpendicular to that, so I quartered it, so I had quarters. And then I took that quarter and I eighth'd it. So you see a bunch of lines now. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark my boundaries to where I want the pocket to be. I don't know if you can see that, but I drew my allowance lines from where the hinge point that I wanted to go. I actually drew an extra 3/8, so we're looking at 3/4 of an inch spacing here. That gives me the hinge point a little bit more meat, so when it's hinging and stuff. The other lines I just made at 1/2 inch marks. Now what I'm going to do is take some artistic licensing and connect them all. Alright, I'm hoping you guys can see that. I'll find out when I edit, but you can see the inner border that I created there. It's pretty cool. I like it. Now the next thing. Now, I bought the Forstner bits actually thinking that I can go in and aug out a lot of this with it and then go up and clean it up with some chisels that I got. But I found a faster way yesterday. So I'm going to go set it up and I'm going to move the camera inside the shop. Yes, into the shop. And you'll see the work I did. Now this is actually a ring box. So I'm not going to go too far down. I'm probably only going to go down, what is this that I'm looking at here? Maybe 3/4 of an inch to, I'm going to say an inch. Yeah, I like an inch. It gives me a nice solid 1/2 inch base. I have that crack back here that I saw. So let me go set that up and I'll show you what I did. Alright, and then through the magic of editing, I'll do that whole process and then you guys can watch it and fast forward. Alright, see you in a bit.